Once upon a time, there was a kingdom filled with magic. It sparkled with enchantment. People used magic every day. They lit their homes with spells. They cooked their food with magical fire. Children went to schools to learn new spells. It was a place where magic was as common as sunshine. The king of this magical land was a wise and just ruler. He loved his people dearly. He used his magic to protect them. He ensured everyone had food and shelter. The king's magic was strong, but he was getting old. He knew he needed to choose an heir. He had to find someone worthy to rule after him. This was a big problem that weighed heavily on the king's mind. The king had 8 sons. The first 7 sons were not very nice. They were selfish and only cared about themselves. They used their magic for silly things. They turned people's hair blue or made their ears wiggle. They did not care about the kingdom or its people. The king was very sad. He wished his sons were different, but he had to find a way to choose a worthy heir. The 7 princes were always quarreling. They fought over who had the best magic. They argued about who should sit on the throne. They boasted about their magical powers. The king despaired at their behavior. The youngest son was different. His name was Prince Orion. He was a kind and gentle soul. He had a heart of gold. Orion was also very handsome. He had bright eyes and a warm smile that made everyone feel happy. Unlike his brothers, Orion loved to learn. He spent hours in the royal library. He read books about magic, history, and the kingdom. He wanted to learn everything. Orion was also very good at magic. He had a special gift. He could feel the magic around him. He could control it with ease. But Orion never boasted about his powers. He used his magic to help others. He healed the sick and helped those in need. One day the king decided to test his sons. He wanted to see which one was worthy to rule. He called all his sons together. He gave them a task. "My sons," he said, "I am getting old. I need to choose an heir. I will give each of you a seed. Plant it and take care of it for a month. After a month, return here. The one with the most impressive plant will be the next king." The 7 older sons were excited. They thought this was easy. They rushed off to plant their seeds. They used their magic to make their plants grow quickly. They wanted to impress their father. Section 5. The youngest prince's dilemma, duty versus desire. Prince Orion was different. He took his seed to his room. He planted it in a pot. He watered it every day. He sang to it. He talked to it. He gave it his love. But the seed did not grow. Orion was worried. He did not understand why his seed was not growing. He went back to his father. He told him about his problem. "Father," he said, "I have tried my best, but my seed is not growing. I have watered it. I have given it sunlight, but it is still the same. I do not understand what I'm doing wrong." The king smiled. He knew Orion was a good and kind person. He had passed the test. He called all his sons together. He told them the truth. "The seeds I gave you were magical. They were enchanted. They would only grow for someone with a pure heart, someone who cared about others. Orion, my youngest son, you are the only one whose seed has sprouted. You are the only one worthy to rule after me. You are kind, compassionate, and wise. You will be a great king." The king announced his decision to the kingdom. He declared that Orion would be the next king. Orion was crowned king in a grand ceremony. The 7 older sons were furious. They were angry that their youngest brother had been chosen. They were jealous of his power. They stormed out of the palace. They vowed to get their revenge. Orion was sad that his brothers were angry. He tried to reason with them. He told them that he loved them. He wanted them to be part of his life, but they would not listen. Orion became a wise and just ruler. He used his magic to help his people. He built schools and hospitals. He made sure everyone had food and shelter. The kingdom prospered under his rule. He ruled with kindness and compassion. He never forgot the lessons he had learned. He knew that true power came from helping others. And so, the kingdom of spells and wonders flourished under the reign of King Orion, the kindest of them all. The people learned that true magic lay not in spells and potions, but in the goodness of one's heart. And in the end, it was not magic that saved the day, but a heart full of love and a hand always willing to help.